What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After the Review with Peter and Terrell. I'm your host, Peter. Terrell was detained at the border this week, I heard. I'm not sure which border. I'm not going to tell you. Actually, I do know. I'm just not going to tell you guys. So hopefully he gets that figured out, and he'll be back next week. So joining me again this week is Matt. What's up, Matt? How was your week?
It was good. It was good, man. You know, just been hanging out. Went out in Dallas this weekend. Hung out with some friends. Saw our boy Curtis and Sawyer. So it was a solid weekend, man.
That's good. That's good. You know, did you catch a little XFL?
I did a little bit. You know, I was watching here and there. I didn't, sit down and really just dive into all the games, but I kind of just watched here and there, and it was, it kept me entertained, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I think. So let's just get into the XFL since we got the football. We're football junkies in this country. We need more football after the Super Bowl's gone. So
it's a year-round sport, I guess.
Hey, man, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was decent competition. I liked some of the new rule changes they did. I'm not sure how I feel about the kickoff change. So for those who don't know, they now put both the teams. They put the kicking team at the 25, or put the kicking team at the 30 and the receiving team at the 25, so they're 5 yards apart, and then they can't move until the receiving team fields the ball. So it kind of gets rid of all that running into each other. I don't know. What did you think of it?
I thought it was really interesting to just look at. I watched a video of it about, I don't know, earlier today. Because I was like, man, I'm a little confused on this, and I can see how it could probably create more returns, I guess. Possibly make alleys or something like that to run. But besides that, it's just kind of. I know it's supposed to emphasize not, they don't want people taking touchbacks.
It's getting rid of the total touchbacks, and it's getting rid of the safety part that the NFL has a huge issue with. It's not,
right.
Kickoffs aren't safe or whatever. So I like it better than no kickoff. It gives you something, instead of just starting at the 25.
Yeah, I feel like the NFL is obviously, like you just said, for safety reasons, they've tried to almost get rid of people returning the ball because if you give the incentive of returning from the 25, most of the time coaches are just going to say kneel it out.
Yeah, and the kickers are already basically kicking it halfway into the end zone on top of it. So
right,
it's you got to run it 30 plus yards to even get to the 25 if you do take it out. I find it kind of funny though that they emphasize the safety on that part, but the rest of the game not too much safety concern going on.
No,
there was
no way.
There's not really any targeting called. There's not helmet-to-helmet hits or anything like that. We saw some pretty big boy hits out there. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I think they're really trying to – I think what the NFL – NFL used to be that way, 10, 15 years ago. And I think the XFL is kind of well, we'll just give you, just smash mouth football. We're going to give you, the hits you used to see, Sean Taylor type hits, just people getting lit up, and I think that's exciting for the fan at least.
Yeah, and it's good, especially it's going to be a lower quality of football, and we saw that a little bit. Some of the quarterbacks weren't great, but some of the quarterbacks, look pretty good. I was surprised a little bit at the level of play. It was better than the AAF, if we remember the AAF that went defunct last year. That was terrible. This looked a lot better. From a schematic standpoint, they were running good stuff. I loved the interviews on the sideline. Instantly after a play would happen, a reporter would be over there, interviewing a coach after a touchdown or interviewing the kicker after a missed field goal. I'm like, that was awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to figure out. I think it's really great. I think it's really interesting. It's almost instantaneous, reality TV. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, there was a couple. There was an F-bomb. There was an F-bomb dropped by a lineman coming onto the sideline, and everyone's like, okay.
Yeah, and you got that. I forgot who was playing, but a center full on body slammed a linebacker, and then came off the field, and instantly the report's what were you doing out there, blah 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 blah, in his face, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on in this game.
It's I think maybe they should let it calm down a little bit, let guys cool off, because
for sure,
because they just she went up, the kicker missed a 38-yard field goal, and she went right up to him how do you feel about missing that kick? It's how do you think he feels? He feels like shit. But then he did come back and then kick a 55-yarder for DC at the end of the half. So I'm oh, that's kind of live. So now I feel good for this guy because I got to know him. And it's just, I don't know. It was interesting. I can't wait for the reaction where a quarterback throws like a game-losing pick six or something like that. And they ask the quarterback how he feels.
What were you thinking right there?
Obviously not the right thing.
Yeah. Hey, idiot. You threw into double coverage. What happened? Dude, so Marquette King, but got to be the best player in the XFL, right?
Oh, yeah. He's like an NFL talent. He probably should be in the NFL, but guys don't want to deal with his,
right,
he's a little bit of a nonsense kind of guy. He's a wide receiver, basically.
For sure. Yeah.
But did you hear McAfee's call of that?
No, I did not.
So Marquette King, for those who don't know, Pat McAfee, ex-Colts punter, retired. He was doing like the sideline reporting. Marquette King drops a perfect punt. Like this ball hits the 2 and like dies at the 1.
Okay, yeah.
And the lineman and the guys covering the punt run down there and dive and knock the ball into the end zone. And Pat McAfee loses his mind. He's like, "What are you doing? The punter just did everything. Get out of the way." He was going ape shit. It was hilarious. I was like,
I feel like he's built for the XFL. Like
he joked about joining the XFL. I think he enjoys doing what we're doing right now too much every day.
Yeah, like this is like the perfect thing for him because he's so flamboyant and so passionate and just so like he seems like just a football guy.
Yeah, just let him get out there. Let him get out there and call some games from the sideline. And they had Greg Olsen out there too, so they're tuning up Greg Olsen before he takes over in the booth for somebody.
Speaking of, guys like on their way out, did you see, I think who would be phenomenal, like up there with like Tony Romo? I think Phillip Rivers. I know that's kind of off topic, but
I don't know if the people could handle Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast, John Middlecoff, and he was talking about how he thinks Phillip Rivers is kind of like John Madden. Like just that like kind of passionate, like obviously like
he's like so like good old country boy though. He like
he just loves football. Yeah.
Gosh, flang it, dang it! Why isn't he throwing the ball over there?
Yeah,
hold on, my wife's giving birth to another kid. I'll be back. That's number 17.
God, yeah, he's a treasure for sure. I would love to watch him commentate a football game. But anyways.
Maybe. How about we'll give him a test in the XFL. It's a perfect.
Oh, dude, it'd be wonderful. Yeah, I'd love that.
But apparently he still wants to play. I don't know. That was kind of weird this week. The Chargers just kind of went off of what Jay Glazer said like 2 weeks ago. They're like, yeah, they're done with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, man. Like who's the owner? Spanos, right?
I feel like they're bad.
I feel like they pay the bare minimum for coaches, and then they coattail off of they ride the coattails of the Rams into their new stadium.
Oh yeah, the Rams don't even want them there.
No, and like to me, it's just like, dude, like the league's making more money now than ever. Why are you not spending money on your players, your coaches, and your facilities? Like, what are you like penny pinching for? Like, I think each team gets like $280 million check every year. Like,
yeah, each team can pay. Each team can pay for. They could charge no. I learned this in my finance class. Each team could not charge ticket prices for an entire season, and they would generate a profit for the year based on their TV contracts alone. That includes like playing all their players and their salary. They're basically covered from these TV deals that they have. So it's like,
yeah, it's just unreal. Like, dude, like just spend money. Like you're not going to lose any. And it's not like he's not like he's been poor. Like I think Dean Spanos, like he was, raised as a billionaire. Like his parents own the team.
The NFL's doing a good job of trying to get rid of, because there was a real issue with that in like the 2000s, like with Red McCombs and stuff like that when he owned the Vikings, like penny pitching owners just trying to turn a profit on NFL teams instead of owners trying to win. I mean, they have the salary cap for a reason. I mean, I guess it's all guarantees and stuff like that. So they were posting, I mean, it was going all over Twitter today. Like, the Chargers had Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, LaDainian Tomlinson, Sean Merriman, Antonio Cromartie, Vincent Jackson, Antonio Gates, and they made it to one AFC Championship game.
Dude, that's an embarrassment. Like, to me. And then... And I think they fired Schottenheimer after he went like 13-3.
Yeah, and they lost in the divisional round to the Patriots, I think.
Stupid. That's so dumb. Yeah. Like,
that was before everyone kind of. I mean, the Patriots had already won 3 Super Bowls at the time too, but they didn't realize. But Marty's got the moment. He was kind of like Andy Reid, couldn't win the big one. So I kind of get that. But
yeah, we got a little off topic there.
Yeah, we did. I mean, that's what's fun. People like that stuff. Yeah. So XFL, I kind of liked it. I think if the football can stay up, it was decent. I like the Houston team. They had
PJ Walker.
Yeah, Temple's quarterback with Matt Rule when they won all those games, right?
Yes.
And they said his knock was he was just undersized. He's like as tall as Russell Wilson, so he's really undersized. But he could sling it. He looked good.
Yeah, he throws a pretty ball. And the funny thing, it's funny you say that. Like I was sitting there watching him, I was like, man, who is that? Like he looks so familiar. Like almost his play style looked really familiar to me. And I was like, wow. Like first of all, he throws a gorgeous ball. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Like I looked it up, I was like Walker. I was like, oh my God. Like it was the Temple quarterback. I remember that now. And because Matt Rule is like everywhere he goes in college, especially, like they seem to win. And so it's cool to see him get like an opportunity to play and like show how good he is.
He beat out one of their big, and Connor Cook was their big name quarterback sign from Michigan State, and the Raiders really started that playoff game when Derek Carr broke his leg.
Yeah,
and he beat
what
out.
a fall from grace.
Beat out Connor Cook. He was kind of Everyone thought he was gonna be like the Kirk Cousins to Derek Carr, just like another guy who can start.
Yeah, and he's like, and I think his big knock coming out was, I think he started 4 years and he was never team captain. Like that's a red flag for me. Personally.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And
a red
you're
flag.
the quarterback. And you're the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like you should. Like I know. Like I feel like sometimes quarterbacks get shoved the leadership position, but like like to me, like dude, you started 4 years. At least your junior and senior year, if not just your senior year, you should get a captain position. Like that shocking.
Yeah, it's not like they're stinging on naming captains in college or anything.
Yeah,
like they kind of throw everybody out there. That's
right.
So maybe that's a thing. So it was good to see Houston. Kind of, I liked them. They looked pretty good.
Yeah,
Dallas looked terrible. The favorite.
I didn't watch like 1 second of that game, but like I was watching the day before. First of all, I like how they put the betting odds out there.
Yes, the live betting odds in game is clutch.
Yeah, that's like so like progressive and revolutionary. I think the NFL is probably going to do that next year.
Yeah, well, they need to legalize sports gambling everywhere.
For sure. Like I mean, it's only going to make more money for the leagues. So in the states, and
exactly, it makes like more people are going to tune in if you have a little action on the game. So
right, it was cool seeing Cardell Jones.
It was. I heard this stat. You ready for this stat? That was only his 12th start since graduating high school.
Really?
Yes.
Because he started like what?
He started 2 games at Ohio State.
Yeah,
and the Big Ten championship and or 3 games. He started the Big Ten championship in both playoff games and won a natty.
Lightning in a bottle, that guy was. I remember, first of all, he's just a freak. And he like 6'5", like 260. He's like a
he's huge.
Russell. Yeah.
He's got a massive arm. He never got refined. Cardell Jones is a treasure. He was the guy that tweeted out like, "We ain't come for school, we come play football" when he was at Ohio State.
I forgot about that.
And then he beat the kid. In the hospital. He was in the hospital like visiting kids, and he was playing NCAA football, and he beat him 98-21.
Yeah, he was. He said. Then I think he tweeted something about that too. Like,
somebody said stop. Someone said stop saying I beat the kid 91-21. There was still time left in the fourth quarter. I won 98-21.
Dude, that's hilarious. Like, yeah, he's a crazy guy in general. Honestly, I think the one thing, just back to the beginning, like quality of play. I think the downfall of this league would probably just be line play.
Yeah, the O-line play is terrible in the NFL, so I can imagine it. Being the down.
Because I feel like pass rushers are just like freaks now.
There's a lot of good defensive players, and especially it seemed like a lot of teams didn't keep a lot of D tackles. They kept a lot of linebackers and a lot of ends out there. So teams are running this multiple up front. Like, we'll have one tackle, and then we're just going to bring a bunch of fast guys in there to fill gaps.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was listening to that podcast earlier. They were saying how I feel like there's like a lack of star power. Someone said, like, what if AB or Dez just played?
That's
like,
true.
That would be insane.
We see Dez working out saying he wants to come back, running against air. Why don't you run in a scheme and let's see if you can still catch and play?
Yeah. I think he would dominate. Personally,
there you go. That'll get you back on an NFL roster then.
For sure. And then I think lack of a good O-line play, but like that's probably the NFL, and then like star power. But I think besides that, like it can be interesting. Like I like football. I love football. So like there's
definitely there's a need. Yeah, there's like a need. Like don't oversaturate it. Like Saturday and Sundays, it's something on. We're not really. This is kind of a dead time of the year. It runs until the end of April. I think the NFL should really they should form like a marriage together. Like, why can't this be the minor league of football? Like, they have rosters so thin. A lot of guys need development, or guys don't get the opportunity playing. There's so many D1 guys out there. There's so many D2 guys out there. That's not you say you find it, but not everybody gets found. Like, look at these guys. Look at the running backs in the Super Bowl. They were both cut multiple times before they got the stick. Think about a guy like that gets cut his first year and then gets to put film out there of playing in games, and we see like, oh, holy crap, this guy, this cat can move. He's got
for
something.
Sure.
So
yeah, I think
why can't we have that? Like a little development. And baseball's got minor league. The basketball's got the G League.
Hockey's got,
minor, junior hockey, and they have the AHL, and they got junior hockey. There's development leagues for everybody except for football.
Yeah, and I think another thing, like thinking of the NFL, I think a way to make that better too, like I think they could get rid of preseason games that way.
That's a talk for the CBA. They want to go to the 17 games and then cut down the preseason
to 2
to like 2 or 1 because they're like, we don't need the preseason for.
Yeah, and it's such a snooze fest. Like I'm not interested in the 7th round guy playing in the 5th, like 5 minutes left in the 4th. Like I'm just not. You know what I mean?
I like watching a little bit because I'm the guy that keeps digging. I mean, guys you see 2 years, 3 years from the preseason later are popping up in NFL games making impact plays. At least for the Vikings, because the Vikings always do that. Like you basically don't play as a rookie ever. So we'll see guys that are like, oh man, who is this guy? This guy's a beast tearing up the preseason. And then, like, 2 years later, oh, there's our starting end. I mean, that's how Danielle Hunter kind of was. Just like, oh, this guy's a freak. He's 20, and he's just, like, killing these guys. Okay.
The funniest thing is when you told me, like, back when, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know. How long has he been in the league?
Oh, God. I think it was 2014. 2015? Maybe 2014. So I think he's been in them for a while.
I think in 2016 or so. I remember we're at, like, Whataburger or something, like, back at family dinner. And you told me, like, Danielle Hunter is going to be a top pass rusher in this league in like 2 or 3 years. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, P. You know, like how we always are. And dude, like you're right. Like he's an animal.
Yeah, he was a freak because he was like the youngest guy drafted out of that draft, and we took him in like the 3rd round. And he was like, oh yeah, this guy was a physical specimen. He just didn't have necessarily all the coaching at LSU. Or like I'm like, oh, we got this. And then you see what he is now. He's gonna be he's like dude out there.
Especially in Mike Zimmerman's scheme, like I feel like he's just an elite defensive coach. So yeah.
So we thrive on that. So let's get the XFL that. Let's let players and teams have guys get a look, get developed. Let's kind of form a partnership. It'll keep the XFL around. It's on mainstream TV, ESPN, ABC, Fox, FS1. So those are, it's not like they're little. And they also said, I heard this one, that the ticket sales from just this weekend alone outsold the entire AAF season. For 10 weeks. I
think this whole operation is just. I feel like Vince McMahon really learned from what was that, like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I feel like it's first of all, he's made way more money off of WWE, so he's way bigger financial backing. I think, like you just said, the distribution of it is so much better. Like it's on, like you said, FS1, ESPN. Like you're gonna get eyes.
Yeah, these networks are gonna put resources into making it work because it makes them money because they spent money on it.
Yeah, to me it just feels like the AAF was just kind of thrown together, and then but this, like, you got like Oliver Luck, who's the commissioner, and you got Vince McMahon with all his money backing it and all his investors, and it just feels like a way more professional operation.
Yeah, and they spent 2 years since they announced it. They were like, okay, we're gonna take it slow, like we're gonna make sure everything's correct, and they got. There's 8 teams. That's pretty good. I mean, they said the DC Defenders, they looked really good. Their ticket prices were going more on the secondary market than over half the Redskins games were going for this year.
Wow, I did not hear that. That's shocking.
Somebody was like, yeah, who's the better team? The Redskins or DC? They should play each other.
What a dumpster fire the Redskins are. Good Lord.
It's bad when the XFL team is getting more fans and, people are chirping they might be better than you.
Can we talk about that coach got fired after one game?
Oh yeah, they're Pepper Johnson, the defensive coordinator. Great linebacker. The other linebacker, LT for the Giants. They said LA said, "See ya."
That I couldn't believe that. Someone goes, I love reading comments on Twitter, obviously. And someone goes, "End of an era."
I saw another one, easily top 10 defensive coordinator of all time in the XFL.
That's great. But yeah, man. I mean, it's entertaining for sure. Like, I'm gonna definitely pay more attention to it this weekend. But
we'll see where it goes. I mean, hopefully it stays around. We need something a little a little bit more football just before we get into the full basketball swing. Speaking of basketball, NBA trade deadline hit last week, right after we dropped the pod. Big moves. Iggy finally got dealt. He wanted out of Memphis, didn't even play for the Grizzlies, which I don't get. Memphis is kind of good. They're currently the 8th seed in the West. So, but he didn't want any part of them. They traded him to the Heat. Seems like a good move for the Heat, but they paid him a lot of money.
Yeah, I think maybe Jimmy was just Jimmy Butler likes playing with adults, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's a strange character. I like it. Jimmy likes to play. Yeah. Jimmy, I mean, he basically forced his way out of Minnesota because of Wiggins and Cat, and he said these guys aren't dogs. He wants dogs.
These guys are clowns. So I think Iggy's just like a grown up, like, and he has like the pedigree, the championship pedigree, and I think like Jimmy just, like you said, he's just an interesting cat. Like
Jimmy gets what he wants.
Yeah, and Jimmy's just like, I feel like he like obviously he's not as good as Kobe, and like rest in peace Kobe, but like I think he's like dedicated to it like that. Like I think like he likes to just grind.
Yeah, he eats, sleeps, and drinks basketball. Yeah,
right. And so especially like he didn't like, have it all out of high school. He went to TJC, like, and he's he went to junior college, and like, and I feel like he played like Wiggins played at Kansas, and Cat I think played at
Kentucky,
Kentucky, and like it's like all these dudes who are like playing at like Power 5 schools, and like I think he's just more hungry than most players.
No, so. Jimmy definitely only appreciate guys that work hard for sure. Right. So I mean that makes the Heat kind of interesting. I don't know if it puts them over the hump in the East. The East is, a whole different animal. Like, do we trust Milwaukee and Giannis? They have the best record in basketball. Boston and that system. The Raptors have won 15 in a row. They feel like they can't lose even without Kawhi, which is kind of absurd. Yeah. Freaking the Sixers have the best home record in basketball. I mean, can't win on the road, but they don't lose at home.
Unreal. Yeah, 24-2 is unbelievable.
And it's like, and they just beat the Clippers, so it's not like they've played some bad teams, but they've beaten the Clippers and the Bucks at home.
Yeah. I just don't. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Iggy's probably getting a little too old to like. I don't think he's that piece for them.
No, he's like a come off the bench guy, maybe.
Right.
I don't know if
guy, but
I just don't know if the Heat are there yet. They seem a little too young. Like Tyler Hero's a dog scoring buckets for them, but I mean he's a rookie, so
yeah.
What are you gonna do? No, go ahead.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was it.
Yeah. All right, and then the other kind of big trade, there was nothing like super blockbuster for the big teams, was the Warriors and the T-Wolves. Speaking of, Andrew Wiggins, the Warriors swapped D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins in the fifth. It's going to be like the 5th overall pick, I think they projected. So number 1, the Warriors gotten back. I like the move for the Warriors. I think they're going to, they're going to use that pick. They're going to probably have the first pick in the draft.
Yeah,
so they can. Go ahead.
I think Wiggins just needed like a culture change. Yeah. I think like maybe going to a team like the Warriors,
the best culture in basketball.
Like you got Steph, like you got Clay, like everybody loves Steph. Everyone wants to play with Steph, and then you got Steve Kerr, and and then Bob Myers, and I think it's just like it's a really well run organization. And I think maybe Andrew Wiggins just needed that, or maybe like some people just need to change, like we said last week. Like Andy Reid just needed somewhere new. Yeah, and maybe that's what Wiggins needed.
It's not like Minnesota's done anything. Like they couldn't make the playoffs with Cat, who people say is like the best young player in the game. They couldn't make the playoffs with Kevin Love when he was a stud. So not necessarily the best run franchise. But Wiggins is your third or fourth guy. Pretty good when he not has to be a dude. Like I'm not relying on him.
He's just a talented guy, like in general. I remember watching him in college; like he was unbelievable.
Yeah, like as my 3, I'll take 20 to 16 to 20 a night with 8 boards and 4 assists. As my 3rd or 4th best player.
Yeah, and then he'll have like a couple wild plays because he's just a freak. Like, and I think he's gonna fit really well with Steph and Clay. Like, he'll probably be like the small forward or something like that.
I did hear this little rumor mill. Milwaukee. If they don't do good in the playoffs, Giannis is going to leave. So I've heard that too. They come to the realization that they're not keeping Giannis because they get bounced early in the playoffs because whatever, something happens. And they say, all right, Golden State, here, you take Giannis, you give us the 1 pick, the 5 pick you got from the Timberwolves and Andrew Wiggins, and you can have Giannis.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty enticing.
And you still, oh my God, you sign Giannis, and then you sign him to a long-term max deal, and you have Steph,
Yeah,
Clay, and Giannis. Oh my God.
you might as well shut it down for the next 10 years
Yeah.
because they'll win 6 or 7 of them. You
Yeah,
know, like
right. Yeah, because it's like, okay, Durant was great, but Giannis has got a much more complete
yeah,
game than Kevin Durant does,
yeah,
especially if he keeps improving his shooting.
and he's younger too. Like, isn't he like 24 or
Yeah,
something like
he's
that?
so
And so
young.
yeah, I mean, I personally, I would, I work with some guys. Obviously, we're all Mavs fans.
Yeah. Oh man.
Love to see him go to the Mavs,
Oh,
but
that's.
yeah,
Oh, I don't think they got enough contract room to sign all three of those
yeah,
guys. I mean,
little European Union,
yeah,
like,
team
nah,
team EU over here
yeah,
in
Team
Dallas.
Berlin Wall or something like that.
Porzingis,
Uh,
Doncic, and Giannis. Oh my God, that'd be funny. I would.
that'd be insane.
Hey man, it's like we'll play. It's like USA versus the world at the All-Star game. It's just the Mavs versus the USA
Everybody
team.
else,
Yeah,
it'd be great TV. But yeah, but to the Warriors, that would be man, that would even be crazier than KD,
yeah, that
and
would be.
especially
Yeah,
because
yeah. I mean, it's like Katie was. I mean, Katie was great when he did it. He was probably in his scoring prime, but he wasn't in his athletic prime by any stretch. And
no,
Giannis is about to get there and maybe take over the torch from LeBron. I still think LeBron's got it right now for before we head out.
yeah,
But I mean, hey, maybe the Mavs, maybe they want to play with the European guys, the young guys. I mean,
yeah,
I would want to play with Luka. Luka's a baller, man.
yeah. Mavs got to land a free agent at some time or get a trade sometime.
Well, Mark Cuban, right? He keeps saying
Yeah,
he's gonna do it.
yep,
I
yeah,
mean, it's so weird, right? They can't sign anybody. Texas has no state income tax. Dallas is gorgeous. It's good
yeah,
weather. Great winter weather compared to most NBA cities when you play basketball most of the
yeah,
year. And then people say they love Mark Cuban. It's just, I don't.
yeah. It's
It's
just like it feels like we get there with like certain players, like top 2 or top 3, and it's just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah,
And like you said, Dallas is in the middle of the country. You can get anywhere fast from here. Like
yeah,
there's no
major
state,
major
no,
airport hub. It's not like
yeah, and it's like Mark Cuban's gonna take care of you too. Like you're gonna have the
exactly. Yeah,
best
you
of the
see
best.
Dirk. He got his own street. He's gonna work for the
Yeah,
Mavs forever.
yeah, and so maybe just hopefully one day we get a good signing because I love watching the Mavericks. Dirk is like my hero growing up, and so maybe we can get some. I mean, Luka's probably going to be that guy,
Yeah,
but but it'd be awesome to have Giannis too. I mean, just, let's get it. Let's get a big three, huh?
Team
Why
E.
not?
I'm Team EU. I would.
TVU.
I would just like to. I would just love the memes that come out of Twitter from that team.
Oh,
Just
it'd be great.
Team
It'd be
Europe.
great. Twitter.
Yeah. They don't take dollars. They only accept euros at Mavs basketball.
That wouldn't be surprising. Oh my gosh, dude, Drummond getting sent to the Cavs.
Oh, why? Just why?
Yeah,
I don't.
like there's like a huge middle finger to him. It's like get the hell out of here. Like what the hell? I remember like, how mad I would be if I was Andre Drummond.
Yeah, well, because good teams were like kind of talking like, oh, maybe we can add because Morris got traded to the Clippers. Like people were kind of looking for a big man, just add a guy, a little bit of a rim. I mean, I guess it's the counter Braun and AD. They were looking to add some size, and it's like, oh, you can go from Detroit to Cleveland. Good upgrade.
And it's not even like he went from like a terrible city to another terrible city too.
Hey,
Like it
hey,
was,
it's Cleveland. At least it's
yeah,
not Detroit.
yeah,
It's a little.
God,
It's like
like,
going from an F to a D plus city.
yeah. And then, like they're trying to like pitch it to him like, hey, we're not Detroit. Like like good lord. Like, dude, I would be so upset. Like, especially because Drummond's a good player too, and so I don't know how they re-signed him like 2 years ago,
Yeah, something like that. I think so.
and so like he's stuck there. Unless,
Yo, I would just
like
say I'm not playing for y'all. Y'all cats are
yeah,
bad.
I'm retiring.
The old forest. I could just see him like walking in the meeting. Hey, we're sending you to a better city. Oh yeah, Cleveland.
Hey, at least it's not here.
Oh god, the Midwest people are gonna hate us. F
Yeah,
them.
it's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
All right, let's talk a little bit about something that I know you relish want to talk about since spring training's creeping around the corner.
Yeah, it is.
Did you
It
see
is.
this little playoff proposal Rob Manfred made the other day to change baseball?
I read about it on Twitter, but I don't know much about it, so you can tell me about it.
I'm gonna throw it down for you. This was kind of interesting. So getting rid
Yes.
of 1 game wild card, getting rid of it. I'm like,
Okay.
okay, I like that. Baseball's played in series. It's gonna make the first round best 2 out of 3. All right, I'm
Okay.
okay with that. They're gonna add 7 teams, I think, or something like that to the playoffs instead of 5.
Oh my gosh.
Something weird. They're
Wow.
adding like 2 more teams. Oh yeah, you ready for the big kicker? You get to pick who you play.
What?
Yeah, so you get to pick who you play with best record. So instead of having to play
Seeding.
instead of having to play like the lowest seeded team necessarily that maybe is like super hot, you know how a team gets super hot at the end of September to get into the playoffs and they just roll, and we've seen it a few times. Like the Nationals last year were in the wild card game, won the World Series because they were just got super fuego. And so it's like, I wouldn't want to play the Nationals as the best team. It's like, give me these guys. And it's like, okay, let's just start a fight between 2 teams. Oh, you picked us to play us because you think we're bad? Okay.
Yeah, that's I don't know what to think about that. That's interesting.
They're trying to shake up baseball.
Yeah, I know Trevor. Yeah, they're trying to make it interesting for sure because I feel like they're not getting any views.
Which is oh my God. You know what they should do is they've done it for the All-Star game. They did it for spring training where they have players mic'd up and they're talking to players in the middle of plays. It's not like baseball. I mean, yes, you have to pay attention to baseball, but the major league players are going to be able to pay attention and like still talk to the guy in the booth. And that's as interesting as can be. Like, we should have more of that.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, that playoff thing. I know Trevor Bauer. I think he sounded off on it.
Oh yeah, he did. But Trevor Bauer's a crazy person.
Yeah, I would say he's insane. So like, we're not surprised by that. But yeah, like I don't know about that. You're right. Like I could see like totally brawls happening.
Just because you picked the team.
Oh, you think we suck? You think we suck? Or they are like pitchers, of course.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna throw at you.
Yeah, like because you know how pitchers are.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. Dude, I cannot wait for spring training since it seems like baseball's not gonna levy the hammer on those cheat throws. Oh my God, I can't wait. Altuve and Bregman should not play in spring training, or they better go to bat with like a suit of armor on because they are gonna get. I'm putting every bad pitcher that I really don't care about out there, and I'm saying hit them in the head.
Beam them.
Just
them.
right in the right in the head or right in the ribs.
And then did you see that? First of all, like Astros public enemy number 1, and I think we'll get to them though. But the Red Sox number 2. But,
yes, they're coming for the Sox too.
Yeah, and did you see that Wall Street Journal article? Wasn't it like they were kind of implicating the players over the coaches, right?
It was the whole. Yeah, they were implicating Carlos Beltran, and then they were saying like, well, Beltran was on the Yankees beforehand, and then right after, and they didn't tell him. It's like, no, the Yankees didn't know about any of this. And it's like Beltran was trying to keep this a secret that he kind of came up with this. Also, he was on the Rangers before he was on the Astros, so maybe the Rangers were doing it down there. I mean, hey, that's where the steroid era started. It was in Texas.
I guess so. Yeah. Hey, yeah, man. You know, we do it. Hey, we do it big, Texas, man. You know.
Hey, when you're bad, you got to get on the cutting edge before everybody. Try and get on the edge before everybody.
Hey, you know how it is. But yeah, man,
Interesting. I mean, and the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts. Like, okay, let's trade my MVP, best position player we've had in like 25 years. Like, bye.
And I know Red Sox fans are pissed.
Yeah, they're super pissed. Bill Simmons was losing his mind.
Did David Price get sent too?
Yeah, they sent David Price too, which I kind of get. He's old and worth a lot of, he's pretty expensive. The Red Sox are getting super cheap. I don't know who they want to pay. I mean,
maybe they want to try to get Chris Bryant or something.
I don't know. Maybe George Springer's due to be a free agent, and he went to UConn. I know that, so he's from Connecticut.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird. I'm okay with it. I hope anytime the Red Sox are trash, I'm happy.
Of course you are. Hey man, I think who's going to catch a lot of hell if he doesn't step it up this year.
Who?
Bryce Harper.
True. Big truth.
He's just gonna get railed this year if he doesn't step it up at all.
I mean, they have
that money.
Yeah, they have a good team. He hits a lot of home runs. He doesn't hit for average, and he doesn't get on base. Like, say what you want about Aaron Judge, he never has a terrible average, and he's always getting on base, drawing walks. He draws the most 3-2 counts of anybody in baseball. So it's like, at least he works the count. If he strikes out, he strikes out a lot, but it's like, I'm okay with that if you work the count and get on base, with a good on-base percentage. It's like, it's not a big deal. Baseball has changed. But yeah, Bryce Harper really kind of under the gun.
for sure. And then, but I think on the opposite spectrum, I don't think this will be a problem. I think Garrett Cole is going to be great.
God, I hope.
Yeah, and I think he's just built different too. Like I think he's just like a really consistent player.
Yeah, he's kind of like.
And so
yeah, he was the number one. I mean, the Yankees took him in the first round when out of high school.
Yeah,
like
he was the number one pick again, right?
Yes, he was the number one overall pick. For Pittsburgh. But yeah, he's a freak, and I like that he pitched in the AL the last 2 years because I have a whole thing about the AL NL. The NL is trash with the quality of hitters. Let's get rid of the DH. Hold up, we want to change the playoff rules over here, but we can't get rid of the DH can't get the DH in the NL. What's going on over there?
Yeah. What are we in 1946?
Yeah. As I love to drop the stat on people. Well, it's baseball strategy. Those dweebs out there. There are only 2 baseball leagues in the entire world that don't use the DH, and one of them's the Mexican Winter League and the National League in Major League Baseball. It's like it's like the AFC and the NFC in football. Yeah, AFC, NFC in football. Like in the AFC, your quarterback has to play on the defensive side of the ball also. So Pat Mahomes, you got to line up there at safety, man. Good luck.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, it's idiotic. But last thing for me, the Dodgers are out for revenge, right?
Oh, they gotta be. They feel like they got screwed out of 2 World Series.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I feel it. I feel the Yankees are gonna kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, for sure.
The Astro and the Red Sox. So maybe we'll finally get that Yankee Dodgers World Series, maybe, and that would be, oh my God, the broadcasters would be, they'd be like creaming in their pants to get that LA New York matchup.
Yeah, I feel like anytime it's the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Cardinals, the Cubs, like teams like that, like it's like your teams that have been around for like
ever
1,000 years, like they love that shit. And so that would be an awesome series. Obviously I can't cheer for the Yankees.
Yeah, on principle alone.
But hey, this will shock you. I believe I hate the Astros more than the Yankees.
You should. Just like I hate the Red Sox more than I hate the Rangers.
Yeah, and the Astros, to me, especially going to school with all of them, me and you both know, everyone was an Astros fan in A&M, I felt like.
Oh, yeah, Houston.
And so it just feels so right. You know? I felt like, justice was served.
Yeah,
and,
not quite.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Not yet.
It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah,
Trust
right.
me, it's coming to him from a 95-mile-an-hour heater.
Yeah, a little bit in the ribs. Maybe in the head area.
You should wear some full body armor, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna hurt.
For sure.
Oh, okay. Last bit of little news. I want to drop something on you. I know I didn't give you this a little bit. Tom Brady in the news, gonna hit free agency.
Yes.
The divorce is coming.
Okay.
Colin Cowherd on his show the other day dropped it. Tom Brady to the Dallas Cowboys. What do you think?
I know. I talked about this. I talked about this with my coworkers today. I don't hate it.
Okay.
And here's why.
So go ahead.
And here's why. Because Dak Prescott's gonna want, and me, I love.
You got to pay Tom Brady $30 million. He wants 30.
30.
30.
But I think the thing is, it's gonna be such a short term 2 years.
2 years.
2 years 60, 2 years 50, something like that.
Yep.
And then Dak's gonna want, I don't know, 35, 40. Because apparently Mike McCarthy hasn't even talked to him yet, supposedly.
So you're sending Dak. Say you trade Dak to New England for their first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And you take sign Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think you trade Dak. Yeah, to New England?
Yep. Yeah, trade him to the Patriots. Let's just say you do a 1-for-1 swap. You trade Dak to the Patriots, and you get a 3rd round pick or 2nd round pick, and you get Tom Brady.
And I think you gotta use that 1st round pick immediately on a quarterback. And then if you're Dallas,
okay.
I think you have to, just because what Tom's like 42, right?
Yep, he'll be 40. I think he'll be 43 when the season starts.
Yeah, and then I think because I was listening to John Middlecoff where he was talking about the Brady to the Cowboys. And I think what's not crazy about it is the Cowboys have a good offensive line still. You got a good running back, great running back. And then if you can get Amari Cooper back and maybe get another wide receiver or something like that.
Tight end.
Need a tight end. I need a tight end. And I think that's kind of like if Brady's just efficient. And I think the thing is he's not mobile, so he can't get hit. This is like the only downfall. Like,
yeah, he can't move out like that.
It would sell so many tickets.
It
And it's just like it's the biggest brand in football, and then you're getting the biggest player in football, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's just being crazy. I wouldn't hate it personally, but because I think
I don't know how
here's the reason.
I don't know how the fan base would take it.
The only reason I don't hate it is because how much Dak wants. That's what scares me. Because I don't want to pay Dak. I don't want to pay Dak 35.
That's true. Dak's looked bad in some big spots, but the defense is Dak ain't the one letting up all those damn points.
You're right. You're right. And I think that's literally the only thing that scares me: how much money Dak. If Dak wanted 25, if he wanted like Jimmy G money, I would say no to Tom Brady. No, like absolutely not. It's the only reason I'm even considering it because of how much money
he wants. I mean, he wants more than he wants. Jared Goff, Carson Wentz kind of money.
Yeah,
more guaranteed.
And he's got
Cousins.
I can see it from his perspective because he's never hurt. Like he plays every single game.
He's won two division titles.
Yeah. Like he's got the. I feel like he just lacks the it factor sometimes, and sometimes like you don't get that though. Like not every quarterback is gonna be that. Like there's like
he was a 4th-round pick for a reason. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
He's a great locker room guy though, so people like him.
Yeah, like you're not gonna. He's not Russell Wilson. He's not Pat Mahomes. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Deshaun Watson. Like
Colin, I think Colin counted down the list. Dak's like you can't. He's like Dak's like the 17th best quarterback or something like the 16th best quarterback. He said
for sure, and so. It's just hard because like I love Dak as a
That's
dude.
The question is the fan base riot if they trade Dak for Tom Brady. And
I think it would be absolutely split in the middle. Like 100%, I would say it'd be 50-50. Like people, because I feel like it's 50-50 on Dak right now.
It was 50-50 on Romo. Cowboy fans are just never happy is what you're telling me.
You can't, I know I never understood the Romo hate, but it's kind of like I don't really understand the Dak hate either. Like you can't, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Dallas fans are crazy. You're right.
It's a unique bunch of people that are just looking to. Hey man, it makes sense. 500 record, 500 fan base.
You're not wrong.
We stay in the middle. So
I've been living with average my whole life.
Hey, we're just average.
Hey, we're not great. We're not terrible.
You don't want to be us. We're the. I saw this stat today. The Vikings are the only team with a 40+ year Super Bowl drought and a winning record. So,
oh my gosh,
during that time. So, hey, we win, but we don't win. We don't win enough.
Nope.
All right, so I just wanted to drop that little Dak Brady question on you.
That's nice. Tease, I talked about it at work today for about 10 minutes. So,
there you go.
I appreciate you dropping it. I was ready for it.
Hey man, I wanted to do it. It was up, and I don't know. We don't know when you're gonna be back. Terrell maybe freed from custody or whatever. Who knows? So
maybe we can go bust him out or something.
It may be decided by the time you're back on here. So
maybe. Who knows?
Right. So I think that's gonna do it for us this week. If you enjoyed our content, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you all next week.